After the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie panel at New York Comic Con 2018, we had the opportunity to interview most of the Funimation English dub cast about their insights on the movie and their characters in general. In this video, we'll break down our interview with Sean Schemmel, the English voice actor for Goku. Note that at the time of this interview, none of the voice actors aside from the English voice actor for Vegeta, Chris Sabat, knew about the movie plot, and they had only recorded lines for the initial trailer. While we won't have interview audio for this video series, our friends at Frederator and Get in the Robot kindly provided us with their audio so we could summarize and quote everything the best we can. Subscribe to Get in the Robot if you want to hear the audio version of the interviews when they release it, or if they have already released it. Now let's talk about the actual interview. The first question asked was about Goku's multiple forms, and which was Sean's favorite. Sean said, quote, "I'm a base form Goku guy all the way, and the reason I am is because that's how I connect to the character. That's home for me. That is the root for everything else." End quote. As for Goku's other forms, Sean said, quote, "When I see the other Saiyan modes, I'm okay with it. It's just that I also change the voices slightly for the different Saiyan modes, so I've got to make sure I keep track of that." End quote. Sean's least favorite form is Super Saiyan 3 because it looks the least like base form Goku, but Super Saiyan Blue is growing on him. He also really enjoys Kaioken. Sean also mentioned liking scenes with both Goku and King Kai in them, since he voices both and likes the idea of creating the illusion of it being two different voice actors. He noted that not too many people know that he voices King Kai. When asked about Ultra Instinct Goku and how he would handle the voice, he mentioned that Masako Nozawa, Goku's Japanese voice actress, handles it in an interesting way, but he intends to make the voice his own. He noted that anytime he has to do a vocal change for Goku, he would spend more time on the episode in which the Saiyan form debuts. If at any moment he feels iffy about a voice before they send the audio to Cartoon Network, he will be able to re-record his lines at his home recording studio. He actually did this for Resurrection F. He found a mistake in the movie where he inflected something completely wrong and he re-recorded that part to fix it. He felt really good about Resurrection F and said, quote, "As far as I'm concerned, Resurrection F was pretty flawless for everybody involved, and myself included. I don't normally pat myself on the back like that, but I'm really proud of that movie. We all worked really hard on it and everybody sounds great in it, especially Chris Ayres. He's the voice of Frieza. He's amazing." When asked about what advice Sean would give to the Portuguese voice actor for Goku, Sean was reluctant, as if to avoid positioning himself as an authority over all other Goku voice actors. But he ultimately said, quote, "Honor the Japanese as you know you should, and do it the way you need to do it for the Portuguese people. I do it for English-speaking people the way I feel like I need to do it. I have total respect for any other language version." End quote. A reporter from a Mexican outlet asked Sean a hypothetical question about changing voice actors for Goku in the middle of the series. Sean answered, quote, "When I was a little boy, they changed the voice on my cartoons. So when I got on Dragon Ball, I moved to New York, and they were going to replace me. And I paid my own flights to fly back even though I wasn't making any money on the show, to make sure I finished the whole show because I didn't want any little kids to go through that." End quote. He also mentioned the US cast replacing the Canadian cast, and being inspired by Canada's Goku to maintain consistency. Sean had heard that the Mexican cast was about to be changed at one point, and the fans were heavily against it. They made sure to voice their preference for Mario Castañeda, Goku's Mexican voice actor, and he stayed in the cast. To this, Sean said, quote, "Bravo to the Mexican fans, that's what we need." End quote. He also notes that one of the reasons that he doesn't appear in cons with other Goku voice actors is to avoid competition brewing between fan groups. His stance on replacing voice actors is generally, quote, "Never replace. I love the fact that Masako has been doing this for 40 years. I've been doing it for 20 years. I don't know how long Mario has been doing it. A long time." End quote. Sean also points out that the two dubs watched most might not actually be English and Japanese, but English and Mexican Spanish, because of the amount of bilingual people in southern Texas, Mexico, and even Puerto Rico. A message he hopes to send to Mario is, quote, "I hope he's enjoying the screaming, cause he knows what we've got to go through. It's a bitch, but it's wonderful when it's done." End quote. When asked about Raditz being Goku's brother, dying early in the series, and if Raditz could potentially be explored more. Sean answered, quote, "I wish they had. I wish for Super they brought him back to life or something. It would be interesting to see a brother. But you know, Vegeta is Goku's adopted brother, so to speak." End quote. He also explained how that sense of brotherhood also connects to his relationship with Chris Sabat. They have similar thoughts, senses of humor, and interests. Both of them were classical musicians and even went to the same school, but with different majors. At that point, we ran out of time with him, but we hope that this interview was interesting and insightful for you. The next video will break down our interview with Chris Sabat, the English voice actor for Vegeta. If you want to stay notified when these interview videos come out, subscribe and hit the bell icon to stay up to date. And remember that if you want to hear the full audio version, subscribe to Get in the Robot and watch on their channel. See you next time!